What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Sheena, IFBB Women's Bodybuilding Pro, and of course, your host for Women's Bodybuilding for Real. So sorry to keep you waiting. I know I've been away for a minute, but your girl is back, and we're ready to get after it. 2025 is upon us, but before we get started, we've got to jump back for a slight recap of 2024. Tyler Manions was so gracious to give us a recap of Miss Olympia 2024. He went on to highlight and give feedback for the top 6 competitors, which was headed off by Andrea Shaw, who claimed her 5th consecutive Olympia title. Where just weeks earlier, she left the door open just enough for Angela to come in and swoop down for that Rising Phoenix title. Now, Angela brings outstanding conditioning, sharpness, detail, a good amount of muscle on her frame for her smaller structure. And I think it's just a testament that as a competitor, you have to double down, triple down on your strengths. Do what you do well. And Angela proved that by, checking off all of the boxes that she could control, and it eked out that win for her at the Rising Phoenix. Now at the Olympia, unfortunately, she had a little bit of ab control issues, and she was just outsized by Andrea. Speaking of strategic, we have the jump from women's physique to women's bodybuilding by Ashley Jones. Shout out to my sorority sister. What's up, soror? Ashley absolutely crushed it this year, and I'm not surprised, especially considering the way that she just dominated at the New York Pro. I think that it was very strategic based on her shape, her physique, her structure. She has very bubbly, athletic muscle bellies, and I think that played very well into, who she's going up against in women's bodybuilding. You have Helly Trevino coming in 4th place. I love that she switched up her look a little bit. The blonde hair kind of threw me, and I wasn't exactly sure who it was until I, got a close-up of her. So it was really interesting. It was really, awesome to see Helly back on stage, which she qualified automatically because of her placing in the previous Olympia. So, even though she was out in the year with an injury and surgery, I believe it was on her shoulder, she was able to make it back to the Olympia, and I think that she brought a phenomenal package. Tyler did go on to say that she could use some work in her overall muscularity in terms of leg sort of density and width. She did bring outstanding conditioning, so he made sure to highlight that. Next, coming in at 5th, you had Nadia Copatosto from Italy, who is a multi-show competitor each year. She actually did really well in the European shows. I want to say she qualified with the IFBB Europa, and then the M Pro, she also took another win, followed by Christina Mendoza, who qualified at the Tampa Pro. I think both of the ladies had really great shape. I think Nadia's calling card is her upper body and her conditioning, especially just with the flow of muscle. She did need to bring up her legs, according to Tyler, and overall thickness in her back, but her width and her shoulders were a real big attribute to her success. And then, of course, you had Christina with her athletic physique. Her lower body is more dominant, so he was actually really pleased with the shape of her lower body. He did bring attention to her back, saying he would like to see that come up in width, depth, and a little bit more detail. And then, of course, the conditioning. So if Christina can bring her conditioning in and come in a little tighter, a little sharper, I think she is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I'm excited to see her on stage this year as well. I think overall the vibe check for Tyler's recap was really going more towards the athletic, aesthetic, the pretty lines of the feminine physique. I think that we're looking at more athletic, sort of round, fuller muscle bellies. Yes, we need conditioning, but I think they're leaning away from that uber conditioned, uber grainy, dry look. And I think that's really challenging for a lot of women to attain and to achieve, while still maintaining the softer lines and the softer edges, that more quote unquote feminine look, feminine physique sort of appearance. So the real challenge is going to be, and the real test is going to be, if the judges this year actually lean more into that style of judging as well, because I think that when you have someone like Tyler Manions, you have some of the, the bigger names, the higher ups sort of setting out this precedent and giving this feedback and giving us the idea of what they're looking for. I think that's what a lot of the competitors are going to use to enhance their training and sort of streamline their training towards that look when it comes to conditioning and dieting and training. So I think that it's important that the judges at the judging level, of course, also lean into that. And we'll just have to see. It's not always so black and white. It really just depends on the judging panel and who shows up on the day of the contest. I do like this look, though, so I hope we continue down this direction. It's a very healthy look. Now, super excited to turn our attention to the upcoming shows for this year. By count, I think there are 16 shows in total, 18 if you count the Masters Olympia and Rising Phoenix. So I won't get too deep into detail. You can find this on ifbbpro.com. Now, let's get into the shows that are currently on deck. We have the Triple O Dynasty, which is just about 7 weeks away, and that's going to be hosted, of course, by Sid Gillen, Andrea Shaw, Whitney Jones. Triple O Dynasty, of course, lending to their Olympia titles, and obviously we have the top competitors, the 3 Miss Olympias in those divisions: fitness, figure, and women's bodybuilding. As of now, the women's bodybuilding category, the prize money is up to $7,000. I want to say that is the largest sum of prize money, or the largest first place on the schedule. So we're excited about that. Just, really proud that the ladies are leading the charge. Double check their Instagram and their social medias. They're going to give all the details there. This is definitely one of those shows that will continue to make history. It's going to continue to get bigger and better. They're constantly raising the prize money. They have so much great publicity. Look at the support of all of these amazing Olympia winners here. 4 Miss Olympias. Probably too many medals to count, too many titles to count, but you have Sid Gillen, you have Linda Murray, of course, Andrea Shaw, and the renowned Iris Kyle, 10-time Miss Olympia Iris Kyle. Now, they're not losing out on, or they're not missing out, or they're not forgetting about women's physique. They just don't have the pro division there yet, but of course, you have Natalia Coelho, of course, supporting the show. They do have the NPC division for women's physique, so it's just one of those things that's going to continue to get better. We do have the previous year's winner, the first year's winner. The inaugural winner was Gabby Vega, and then last year the Triple O Dynasty crown went to Teresa Ivancic, and you can see here just a handful of competitors, but you had Teresa Ivancic, you had Julia Whitesell, and then you had Gabby Vega, the winner from the year previously. So you can see that the division is growing, and I think that as female competitors, as women bodybuilders, we obviously have to continue to show up. I'm excited for this year's Triple O because you had Teresa Ivancic, who won last year's title, and that was her Olympia qualification. She is also a consummate professional. She is a staple in women's bodybuilding. She'll do shows throughout the year, 1 or 2 in the year. And of course, she's just a great face for women's bodybuilding. I think that she's proven that women's bodybuilders can be marketable. I know that she's now sponsored by a number of really popular brands. Evogen, I believe, is one of them. And, she's constantly in the news, in the newspaper, in the Pittsburgh area. So it's really exciting to see someone represent for women's bodybuilding. And we're excited to see what she's bringing for 2025. Now, of course, we have Chelsea Dion, who I believe is the favorite to win this year's Triple O. If we're talking about current competitors and, people to look out for, I think we have to keep our eye on Chelsea. She constantly improves. She's continuously improving with every show, with every year. Last year, she took 2024 off as an improvement season to bring up different body parts and to just fine-tune her process. I'm pretty sure her coach, if I'm not mistaken, she's still working with Yasin Nasir, and they've had a really good run. So definitely looking at Chelsea as the favorite for the Triple O Dynasty. Up next after that, just 9 weeks out, we have the Van Isles, which is the Vancouver Island Showdown, and that's just 9 weeks out. As of right now, we don't have a full competitor list, but Sherry Priami was the 2023 champion. I believe that was her first pro win, getting her that automatic qualification. And then last year, 2024, we had Julia Whitesell. I think that's how you pronounce your name. Girl, hit me up if that's not how you say it. But that was Julia's first pro win, and she's a younger competitor, so that was her qualification, her automatic qualifier for the 2024 Olympia. This is also just a really young show, so not a whole lot of competitors, but definitely a great show for competitors to jump into early in the year if you're looking for that early qualification. All right, kids, one last thing before I let you go. I just wanted to bring your attention to this recent rule change. The IFBB has now enacted a 3-year cap on inactivity as a pro. The rule is such that if you go more than 3 years without activating or paying that pros dues, right, the IFBB League pros dues, then you have to requalify at a pro qualifier. So for all of my new pros out there, obviously, If you don't know, every year we do have to pay a fee in order to maintain our active status, for your pro card per se. If you were a pro before 2024, you don't have to worry about reactivating. You don't have to worry about this 3-year cap, unless, of course, you intend on activating or competing. Then once you do activate or compete, then you will be held to that 3-year maximum. So make sure you guys just double check the details, stay on top of your P's and Q's. Obviously, you can tune back here for any updates. I'll try to keep you abreast of all the new developments. And of course, thank you so much for watching. This was great. I'm so excited to be back. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. I would love to hear your feedback. And of course, big shout out to our sponsor, Amazon Fitness Magazine. Take it away.
Hey, Glenn Young, Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to AmazonsFitMag.com. First of all, I want to come on here and thank everyone for their support of the magazine. All the new subscribers to AmazonsFitMag.com. I really appreciate you. All of the subscribers to the YouTube channel, as we're up over 1,500 subscribers to the YouTube channel. So I really appreciate you for that as well. I want to thank all of the models that have contributed their likeness and images to Amazon's Fitness Magazine, and everyone that's gone on to make the magazine a success since 2022. Some of the latest questions I've gotten is, well, how do you subscribe to the website and how do you buy the magazine? So let me share my screen here. Okay, so when you go to AmazonsFitMag.com, all right, you'll pop up on the screen, and of course, we see the January cover, Fabiana Dos Anjos, who's the cover model for January. And then just click on this X here, and you go across the tabs: issues, subscribe, articles, galleries, sponsors, about. So how do you buy the magazine? Click on issues, and it's going to bring you to this page. Welcome to the magazine stand. And then you go down here on the bottom, buy the January issue, November issue, or whichever issue you like. So let's click on the January issue, as that's the latest one. And it's going to take you to Mixum, who is the publicist, if you will, of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. You see the price, however many you want, add to cart, click on buy now, and then it'll take you to the billing information screen, fill out your information, and then the magazine will be on its way to you. So that's pretty much it. Now, when it comes to subscribing to the magazine, you click on subscribe. It'll take you to this page. And you have two levels: monthly recurring at $24.99, or you want to go ahead and just buy your whole subscription to the website at $250. Click on now. So you go, click on your monthly recurring, for example, fill out your membership information, submit, and check out. And that is it. So how do you order it? Go to issues. How do you subscribe to the website? Click on subscribe, and then you are good to go.